What was something that you were passionate about with GoDaddy? Like when you said that, and I fully agree with you that we should never start business to make money. There has to be a greater goal with it. What was that goal with GoDaddy when it started out? Like the part we don't see.
Well, when I started GoDaddy, it had been after I sold Parsons Technology, which was the name of my first business, and I signed a non-compete with Intuit. Not that I couldn't compete with them, I couldn't work for money.
Yeah.
Right, for a few years, and they held back a few $1 million, and when it was up, I just wanted to be back in action again, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. This was back when the internet was just getting going, like 97. So I named this business Joe Max Technologies. I had like $36 million. I had gotten divorced. I mean, I don't blame her. PTSD, I'm lucky she kept me around that long. So I wanted to do something in the internet. So what I did was I thought I would hire some pretty sharp people and we would start trying things on the internet. And when we did, if it worked, we would continue. And if it didn't, we'd move on. And so I named it Joe Max Technologies after a dirt road that I drove by on the way to work. I mean, it didn't matter. I mean, we didn't do anything. So our employees would go to Chamber of Commerce meetings and people would ask them, what are you doing? They go, well, we don't know. They said, I've never had a business tell me that. and then eventually, as time went on, we decided to start doing websites for people. And these are way early, really fundamental websites. And we noticed that the websites business would generate cash, but it couldn't scale because, it was just your efforts there that you were tied to. I have a rule that if you got the right business, you can make money while you're sleeping. Your business can be successful while you're sleeping. So we then wrote software that would build a website for people. They could do it themselves. We had so many requirements. And then eventually in 99 and 2000, we became a domain name registrar, renamed the company GoDaddy, I did that at first as a joke, but it stuck. And never did we dream that we'd make our bread on domain names.
Yeah.
And then there's a further story going back. Okay, I would keep track of how much money I had, and then and tie that to how successful the business is doing. Now you remember that were the days of cash burn, right? And so I would start it, and when I first started, I said, I'm not going to worry about this business until I get down to 30 million, and then 25, and then 20, and then 18, 14, 12, 10, 8, 6. We get down to $6 million, and this is about.
So you never raised; it was all your own money you put into it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It was always only my own money. I've never really borrowed much, and from the first business, none.
Wow. And
GoDaddy, none, and no partners.
Oh, incredible! Wow.
Yeah. So I get down to 6 million. And one of the things I learned is from reading about General Grant, he kept his own counsel. I kept my own counsel. So I decided to shut GoDaddy down while I still had some money. And the reason I had to is the dot-com boom was so loud that you couldn't buy advertising. I mean, people were paying $100 for a customer, and the customer might generate $2. Well, you're going to burn up a lot of cash that way.
Absolutely,
and I don't care how big your truck is, you're not going to, you're not going to be able to make wages.
Yeah,
that's what I did. So I go to Hawaii, and I went there to first pay my bills, pay my employees, and sell the assets. Figured out how I'm going to do that. And then, so I'm there by myself for a week. And as I started thinking about, I don't want to shut it down. I just had this feeling I just didn't want to shut it down. The epiphany for me happened when this guy is parking cars and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, no, Mr. Parsons." This guy's a little older than me, throwing his keys up in the air, happy as a lark, right? I'm thinking, what's wrong with his picture? This guy has probably got nothing. He's parking cars for a living. Look how happy and free he is. I got $6 million and I'm miserable, right? And so I decided then that I would go back and not shut the company down. And I just would ride it out. And if the company sunk, I'd go down with the ship.
Wow.
So that was probably in February, March. And later then, the dot-com crash happened. And the dot-com crash, GoDaddy was born out of that, because I was one of the few guys that was paying my bills, and all these companies just went away. I mean, we would have checks returned every week from different companies that just weren't there anymore, right? And so we would take and we'd go ahead, and I went from not being able to buy advertising at any price to having people standing in line to give it to me. I had more friends than I thought I had. And then all of a sudden things turned around for us. And that October, we became profitable for the very first time and never missed a month since.
Wow. That's unbelievable. I mean, it sounds like you've been guided so much by your intuition as well as data. Like you talked about the numbers, you talked about knowing your business, you talked about knowing your numbers, but it sounds like you're also guided intuitively. Would you agree with that? Is that true? Is that fair or not really?
You know, sometimes you hear this saying, better lucky than good, and things just happen, and you like to believe they happen for a reason. I believe the universe is guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's an intelligence to it, however you define that intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's, a particular form of God or just the way of the universe. But I believe it's there.
Yeah, that's incredible. What an unbelievable story.